Welcome to Cranky Live, the show where bold minds meet real talk. This isn't your average sports or news show. It's where we break down sports, culture, and controversy with facts, fire, and fearless honesty. Here, truth cuts through the noise, and hype gets exposed. From football to track and field, from world issues to local debates, we ask the tough questions, speak without fear, and go deeper than the headlines. We don't follow the crowd, we set the trend. While others recycle the same tired takes, we bring fresh insight, unfiltered analysis, and bold perspectives. No echo chambers, no puppet talk, just real conversation for people who think for themselves. Listen with your brain, not just your ears. Think critically, question boldly, and speak freely. This is Cranky Live, where reason rules the mic and truth always win. Come on, let's get into it. All right. Bad start ready, but ready. Good evening. Be like it's scruffy, you know, me have to go. Got the barber. Barber thing every 2 weeks, you know, people. I understand, you know. As a barber stay, right, Ted. Every time I get a barber, I fat that pay, you know. I can't afford that. I poor people, you know. I can't afford them kind of money there. You know, I'm gonna have beard down here on my head for do them thing, yeah. Me have nothing to do on this evening. Me go do a reggae boy show and I'm change my mind, boy, because the news them so hot. Me have to pivot. Me make up a whole reggae boy show, me put that after later in a week. Pivot. Good evening, Jargons. Good evening, Joras. Sylvester. Jargons, Fortis. Bless up. A good thing. Me hype the season. Me let's not jump into the thing them because me have to nurture it first, you know. That's a good day today. Sometimes you have bad week, you know. Play Man U, beat them, but I don't really nobody we play still. Never feel good, them ball away, but we still win. Me never really feel good. Cause me like win with style. Get shape up myself now, sir. Me not go that. My Baba good. Me never introduced me to him. Baba well good, me tell him. Me tell you already, me go Atlanta a few weeks and me get my beard shape up and thing and wasn't impressed. Come back to New York for the Baba, me say, no, me can't come to you every week, my youth. Okay, I'll put on the little black thing on it, making it look too grey. So, love my barber. Barber did the right job. Me don't mind spending money on barber. At all. But me have some things to talk about. Before me go into that step, because you know me always have other things to talk about. But there are two main things we'll talk about tonight. The projected or prospective or maybe upcoming Arsenal transfer and then the Seville destroying Mr. Lyles. We'll talk about them thing there. Before me go into that though, me have a question for you now. Forget about reggae boys. You're not talking reggae boys today. Maybe make a bash with reggae boys, you know. You know why you have made conversation with reggae boys. We are spearing the pain. I have a question for you. If you think about all the contemporary reggae and dancehall artists, because I have to bifurcate them and separate them, who is your favorite and why? So tell me in the chat or call in. You know, I'm going to put up my number too. Who is your favorite reggae artists right now and why? And you can go all the way back. If you want to go Jimmy Cliff, you can go Jimmy Cliff. You can go all the way back. No care how far back you want to go. That is your prerogative. But let me know that. I'm curious. I got triggered by watching somebody today. It's to some music thing. And I said, I'm curious to know, if you think about people, who your favorite? So you don't have to select between two people, you know, just one. I'll put the whole thing under the reggae banner. Because we have different genre, not different genre, but different type of reggae. So if you have your favorite in terms of dancehall artists or you want to call it reggae artists, who that person be? I'm curious. If I'm not going to talk about different people, I don't want to call out no name still. But let me know, people. Let me know. I'm not slowing on. I can't type fast on that. And glad people hitting the like button as they're coming. Please do so. I know so I get a few subscribers today. Let me get about 20 today. I wonder what drive that. But look on the analytics, how I drive that. Didn't realize that at all. Numbers growing slowly but surely. Some people no favorite reggae artists. Oh, I'm the thing. Nobody now hear me. The chat silent. Up the likes. Yeah, up the likes. Come people, tell me your favorite reggae or dancehall artist before we move on to the next topic. Because we're jumping at the different topics. And we can talk about things because we don't want to talk about it now. I had some reggae boy stuff here. See it again. I must say, boy, I can't really talk reggae boys tonight because it's just a 5-hour show. If I talk reggae boy show, a 5-hour show, people. I tell them, I do it tomorrow. 5-hour show, no less than 5 hours. I tell you the truth because I'm not headache. So who are you? Juras. Juras, my favorite reggae artist, Juras, a dancehall artist. I have one. It's a rush show, listen to people because a breaking news, I have come to the breaking news thing. No favorite reggae artist, no favorite dancehall artist. Jargons, Juras, Sylvester, none. I don't have none. I don't see nothing come on the board. Maybe pound, Your brother, Chronix is your brother, Juras? Chronix is a good artist. I like Chronix music, actually. I don't list a ton of different artists, to be honest. Well, I shouldn't say that. I list the different artists, but maybe more, not the more contemporary ones. Because I don't understand what they must say. When I'm a DJ, I understand most of the words they must say. And then when I listen to the words, I cringe sometimes. I have to tell the truth. I'm going to look up. I'm going to call it in Jamaica stush people. I'm not really that, but I was listening to a song the other day, people. I'm telling the truth. And I sing along to the song. There was not one word that I sang to that aligned with the music. Trust me. When I say the words, I say, ratted. I can't understand them in this thing too. That thing was so explicit. I'm surprised them play them things on radio, people. I must be because nobody understand. The words were so I forgot which song it is. You know what? I must record it next time I see it. You know what I know the words? It was on TikTok or a YouTube short or something, and they were, you have the shorts, they print out the words. I'm like, really? I could not believe the words they were saying. Juras said, Bounty, Papa San. Juras. What in Bounty, Papa San Lieutenant is one, Juras? Just one. We don't want three. One, Juras. One. Not three. One. People, you just come in the chat. Favorite reggae or dancehall artist and why? You can't the why not have to be long. Just tell me, people. Anyway, I'm not take long. I'll move on. I'll give my one later night show. So today, I just finished watching the Seville versus the field race, which I'm gonna get into later. And I saw Robbie Lyles drop something. And then I jump online. I said, Ratty, wait, what go on? I jump online. I said, what go on? And then I see the news. Reports are heating up. Eberechi Eze is, as Fabrizio Romano, the transfer guru. I don't know how Fabrizio have so much links in people. He probably had links with the agents and different agencies, but breaking news. Hey, people, Premier League, you get nervous, Eberechi Eze to Arsenal. Here we go. Verbal agreement in place between our parties. Crystal Palace to receive package in excess of 60 mil. Tottenham was supposed to be on the edge and the final sign and push the button. And Levy did a play like him normally do. I try to negotiate $1 and $2 million or £2 million, more like pound in England. People hit the like button. And my man came in. Arsenal came in. Berta came in. Carly Crankies and Josh talked to me and said, we should do this. And we did this. We did this. Now come to the Seville thing, Rob Smith. Good evening, Rob Smith. Hit the like button and come in. And people, if you haven't done so, subscribe to my website. I'm dropping another link too. Subscribe to the website. So Eze maybe coming to Arsenal. I know that we had gotten rid of Eze before, right? Eze had come to us on trials, youngster. What is 12, 13 when we released him? Seemed not good enough. Even though, to be honest, people, sometimes scouts don't know nothing. And the people make decisions on nothing. Because I saw Eze's tapes when he was 13, 12 years old. He must play the same way he play now. Skin people. Better player now, skin people now. So I don't understand why. And maybe in England at that point, which was a number of years ago, 14 years ago, 13 years ago, less focus on the individual skills and the ability to elude and get by people versus today, which is where it's really, really valued. But yeah. You know what you just said, Refa Morris? Excluding Bob. I said today now, Bob, not Bob. I talk about contemporary artists, not people like Bob or Peter Tosh or Dennis Brown. We're talking about today artists. All right, when you make the comment. So it's unbelievable that we actually going to get him. And Arsenal fans were not happy with the window. Initially, Arsenal fans were ecstatic. 5-6 players coming in, £220 million spent. Arsenal fans are ecstatic. And part of that reason for that enthusiasm and that sense of, you know what, this is our year, was because Eze was in the mix, right? Eze and Rodrigo was in the mix forever. We need a left-sided player. Eze is not a left-sided player. It seemed like it's, you know, we signed Nwaneri. There was view that Nwaneri wasn't going to sign because he may not get the playing time that he thinks he deserves or wants to get, given that he's less than 20 years old, which is interesting nowadays. And Ødegaard is already there. And when Nwaneri is a backup, we need a left winger. Are we going to sign a want versus a need? And then people know, hold on track and field, man, we come to track and field. And then we just go through with Arsenal and enjoy ourselves and gloat in our glory. You know? And then we heard today that we're trying to squeeze Tottenham neck and jump in for this deal. Now, given the rivalry we had, and this happened to us, you know, with Modric, you know, remember 2 years ago? Modric, we're going to pay over 80 million for him, coming in from Ukraine, and Chelsea scuffed us at the last minute. And boy, did we thank Chelsea. You have to thank Chelsea for something because Modric allegedly take drugs and hasn't played well, overrated. We know Eze's quality. 11 goals, 4 assists in 32 games last season, I think it was, in the Premier League. And had goals and assists in other competition. I think it was 14 goals and 11 assists in our competition. Scored against a lot of good teams. Play without fear. Play loose. And I think the game against Man U gave us some indication as to where we are as a team. Not just about how poorly we played, but the fact that we have no ball carrier. We have nobody who can break down defenses. None. Martinelli can't do it. Ødegaard can't do it. Gyökeres can't do it. And though Saka is rated as somebody who can go by people, he's not quick. He's not dynamic. He can't skin people. And Eze also scored goals. Now, the one concern I have about Eze, to be honest, is defensively, he sometimes take plays off. And you can't take plays off playing for Arsenal. It's going to be very, very obvious. Everybody got to run back because we play a very high line. And when we lose the ball, you got to get back in play. So it's going to be interesting. I am very encouraged and very enthused about this potential signing. It's not done yet. My understanding that the reason why we got ahead of Spurs was twofold. One is Eze wanted Arsenal because I meant you want to go back to the team you probably grew up liking and supporting. And also you got released by them, so you want to go back. Harry Kane did get released by us also, but he never come back to Arsenal. And then secondly, so Eze wanted Arsenal, and our payment terms was more attractive to Crystal Palace. We're giving them more money up front because we have a lot of money, people. We have a lot of money. We made over 700 million, I think, last year. 6 plus 700 million. And we went from what were we, 400 million about 3 years ago. So we put money in the bank because we have a lot of fans globally. Man U may be the biggest club in England, but that is getting eroded significantly. Eventually, it's going to be between us and Man City, I'm telling you. But Man City, people are sleeping on Man City and they shouldn't sleep. But we're in a really good place. We're attractive optically, foundationally, monetary-wise. We're just an attractive club. Attractive gear, attractive people, attractive area, London, not London. Everything just attractive. Everything just look good. Everything just feel good and everything is just good. So. And we beat Man U, even though we always struggled with Man U. No matter how bad Man U is, them gives us a hard time. Them beat us or them tie with us or we struggle. But them out of the way for the time being. We probably get Eze. If Eze is going to play in the Conference League games, which I hope he doesn't get injured, hopefully we sign him before then. We don't really care. Because we lose. Another problem we have too is we lost Havertz. Now, the concern that when we lose Havertz, we have no backup striker. But Eze can play, score a goal. I think we should move Martinelli inside to be his backup to Gyökeres and have Trossard, Madueke, and Eze play out. Now, if you look at Villa doesn't play with a traditional winger. Marcus Rogers, I know McGinn playing out wide. Not the best situation for Villa, frankly, but they show that you can use a hybrid and do well. Eze can play that sort of almost inverted left wing. He can play the 8 and he can play the 10. He's a very versatile player. He's got a lot of value to Arsenal. When we have low blocks, we expect to skin people and go through. So people hit the like button, please. It's only 21 versus 41. So I'm looking forward to I'm really looking forward to Eze becoming part of Arsenal. Glad the news broke and feel really good about this. All right. Any comments, any calling about us? Because Jaga, I'm not an Arsenal fan now. And but I tell you, people in England who have watched Eze play, them love Eze. Them love Eze. Love Eze to death. And you can see that. And I bet Arsenal fans are going to say this is a 10 window now. Because some people had that, some had 9 earlier, but then they saw Gyökeres play and they bring it on to a 7. With Eze coming in, I just got a text from England a while ago. People love this. See, one of my persons who's a very pessimistic come to transfer window. Man says, summer just got better. I'm telling you. Summer just got better. You know, I'm going to text him too. So he can come on the show. Summer just got better, and I agree with him. We wanted Eze. We were very disappointed Eze wasn't coming. If you hear anyone from Arsenal talk, especially in the UK, and they talk about Arsenal transfer window, the one disappointment was no Eze. Because people see what he can do. People see his creativity, and we're lacking that. We can't say Gyökeres is crap. He can play one game Nitro. Gyökeres is going to score 20 goals this season. That's my prediction. He looked like a farm person in that game. The ball was, I tell you people this example that I had. I remember I wasn't a footballer, but I played a little bit. I'm not amateur football. I remember I went to a new team, Unisoc, who having their 50th anniversary. First game I played for Unisoc. I was shocked I wasn't taken off in the first 5 minutes because I don't think I make a one good pass for the entire game. First game, you want to impress, and it was just awful. I didn't get benched. I didn't get benched that game nor any that game actually for the season. I played for them for about 10 years. But I thought I was lucky to stay on the field. That's me and Gyökeres. Gyökeres was awful, like terrible. People say he didn't do that bad. No, couldn't hold the ball, couldn't dribble the ball. It's like he was playing on a Jamaican football field, the way he was playing, and the fields are good. So, bless up Tycoon. Yeah, Tycoon, life good Tycoon. Me can't complain. I had 2 wonderful news today. We just watch a race, and I was saying before the race started to my nephew, Seville those people, and then right after that, listening to YouTube, see Robbie come on talking about the Eze deal. So we have nothing to complain about. Life is good. Life is good. Good. And I decided to come do a show. I actually was preparing for another show. We do it was gonna be a marathon reggae boy show, whining and complaining but I'm happy now. I'm done with the whining and complaining. I am happy. So Arsenal, good job. And here's the one thing I'm very disappointed in. The only persons who don't get any praise for this window are the actual people who provide the resources for the window. Everybody talk about Berta great and Arteta great and this great. Nobody thanking the crankies. What's it, tank? Nobody thanking the crankies who put up the dollars. We will go over 300 million when we're done. We've got about 300 million spend this window. It's not Liverpool alone spend money. And the difference between us and Liverpool is this. Liverpool, we're bringing about 190-something million. We ain't bringing us 10 people. There's a big difference, you know. Liverpool will spend 300 plus if they get Isak. They're almost at 300 now. And we would have spent 300. Liverpool net is going to be just over 100, less than 200. Our net, if we sell Nelson for like 15 as we normally do, and Zinchenko for 10 and this for 5, we probably net about 40-50 million. Well, we may sell the defender for, what's his name? His name is slipping me now. For about 30 million. I think Porto wants him. But yeah, we don't do the best job. Okay, Nitro, we'll do that. We'll do that, Nitro. Because I do want to talk some reggae boys this week. I didn't want to talk to much reggae boys before we get closer to the end of the window because it looked ugly. And me one thing flush out first. It looked ugly. Between injuries and no playing time and people not have club, it's ugly. So I mean, I want to even get depressed. Right now, I'm happy. I want to stay happy this evening and enjoy the YouTube thing because it's a wonderful evening. Eberechi Eze, possible Arsenal, good situation, good story, and long may it continues, Arsenal. Now, we'll win a cup this year. Eze just win cup, we are bringing a cup winner. We're not by the win a cup anytime soon. We're bringing in a cup winner, people. Right? We know that Gyökeres win a Sporting, but at a 7th best league in Europe or 8th best, whatever they are, that not count. We haven't won anything in London for a while until apart from Arteta's first season when he won the FA Cup. He hasn't won anything with his team. This team is built to win. We have quality players in every position. Unfortunately, Havertz got hurt. His knee got hurt. Supposedly going to be out for a couple of months. It's not a good thing when players start get hurt multiple times. Look at Jesus. Every year him hurt. I know Havertz pulled him hamstring last year. Now he has knee problem. But at least we'll have some cover. We re-signed Trossard. We have, if we get Eze now in, we have cover in every position, and we probably play Trossard in the center forward spot behind Gokares after the way things are going. So we have two on the right with Madueke and Saka. We have Trossard and Martin on the left, but I think they should put Martin early inside, and that Eze and Trossard play outside. We have Merino and Rice. We have Zubimendi and Norgard. We have Calafiori, Lewis Kelly. We may need another centre back if we get rid of the one we're trying to sell. Bless up, Dr. Dan. Dr. Dan, how are you doing? How is AI treating you, Dr. Dan? Dr. Dan, how is AI treating you? Hey, Dr. Dan. Let me say something to you, Dr. Dan. Because we don't work for free, Dr. Dan. Let me say something to Dr. Dan. Any efficiencies you get from using AI, Dr. Dan, and you can quantify it monetarily, I want my cut. I want my commission. Okay, I want my commission. Because remember when you came on, you were pushing back on Cranky, So if I've helped you in any way, shape, or form, and you can quantify monetarily what that can be determined to be, then I want you to send me a check. You don't have to call me for the address. Let me get the address to you. Send me a check, a nice big check to me. No one more on pounds. We don't want on dollars, more on pounds. I like good conversion rate. More on pounds. Yeah, Jakob Kiwior is what I was thinking about. Kiwior may go to Porto for supposedly 30 million or 30 plus add-on. So that's a decent amount of money. Cranky, your left back most improved, didn't look good in the last game. Which one? Kelly or Calafiori? Both of them are good players. Hey, Dr. Dan. Hey, people. Now, see, Dr. Dan, I say, how do I get compensated, people, for my advice I gave Dr. Dan? Because it took me a while to convert him, okay? It took me a while to convert Dr. Dan. I came on the program. We had a long conversation. So, Dr. Dan, how can I get, by the way, Dr. Dan, it's not going to replace you. You're going to be in a good spot. Your cardiologist, you're in a good spot. I'm going to tell you, enough people who do administrative work, people, if you're, let me just say this is a warning to them. I digress a little bit. It's a warning to people. If you're a white collar worker and you're working some kind of clerical administrative job, my suggestion to you is go do your research. Find out the implications of AI on your job. You will be replaced. Now, the contradiction is, I'm digressing, people. You know, let me go over the place sometime. You have to digress. We're not do this one thing program. We're just going to talk about Arsenal and Eze and Seville. We'll get to Seville. Because these are life lessons. Don't let yourself get displaced and say you're surprised. Because the contradiction is that it's going to make you much more efficient, and only people who can understand the business and the function and what's required in a given capacity will be able to do a certain job, like an overseer or like a manager. Here's the problem. If he's going to replace entry-level jobs and the level after entry-level, in 5 years with the manager, you're not going to have no manager because you won't have anybody come in for then grow to be managers. It's very interesting, the dynamics of how this world is going. But we'll go back to the sports, but it's very interesting. So if you have a job like that, I suggest you learn to do something else. Go be a plumber. Good evening, Dr. Dan. Good evening. Go be a plumber. Dr. Dan, how are you doing?
Hey, thank you.
Yes.
Man, thank you. I remember that conversation. I was pushing back on that because I was saying how AI was made by the humans, right? So obviously you need somebody who programmed the software, right?
Yep.
Obviously there's no perfect scenario, right? There's mistakes, but I'm telling you, Cranky, it makes my life so much easier. So here's the thing. So it depends on the field you're in, the specialty you're in, right? You specialize in that area, right? And there's always research in that area, certain drugs so you have the common drugs and you have those drugs that nobody uses anymore or barely used. So it's like you don't remember those. So I just put in the software and I say, I'll ask a question, and Cranky brings up the amount of days, the doses, and how long you take it for. And he says it has research paper towards. I was like, geez. You know what I noticed too? So my girlfriend, like I said, she's a surgeon. So she's not used to, she's a urology surgeon, right? So she does like cancer surgery, whatever. So she's not used to doing medical management, like heart failure and all that stuff. So she used the program. She would text me, hey, how do you manage? My patient has heart failure. What do you want me to put? So I gave her the software, and now she's putting the software, and then everything comes up, and then she'll try to contact me to confirm it. And I realized that a lot of other doctors because think about it, if you specialize in heart or legs, you're not doing the other stuff of medicine, right? But your patient will have that. So you got to know how to manage your patient, right?
Yep.
So like say for instance, Frankie, you come to clinic, right? And I'm treating you for heart failure, which is my specialty, but you have diabetes, you have all that stuff. I still have to have a knowledge in it to treat my patient, because most patients doesn't come in with one disease, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not used to seeing diabetes because that's not how I see it on a daily basis, but I have an understanding of it. So what I do, boom, throw that in the software. Okay, this amount of insulin, what percentage of this insulin? It is amazing, man. I remember we got into the whole thing about it. It's actually going to take over. It's going to take over a lot of people. You know, it's same thing apparently for anesthesiologists, which I don't know how truthful this is, but I was reading something where they're saying that AI now is going to be in the emergency room and program AI is going to program the computer to when they put you to sleep for surgery. I don't know how that's possible, but it's a rumor that's happening.
No. The surgery will be done by AI going forward. I mean, at some point, because here's the thing. It's about precision for surgery, right? So I'm going to have surgery in about 3 or 4 weeks. And they give me a choice. I could get it free, manual. I could pay out of my pocket. I won't tell you how much I got to pay. And I'm like, we're not going manual. We're not doing the manual thing. I'm gonna take the hit. I'm not doing manual. I am trusting technology. You program it the right way. You give it the right configuration. It will get the right outcome. That's what it's programmed to do. So long as you don't mess it up. As long as the program is not out or somebody messes with the system when they start doing the surgery. I don't want to do manual, because manual, your hand shake. You can make a mistake. Oops. You can't be oops when somebody's doing surgery. Right? So I understand what you're saying. And I keep telling people that AI may be our demise, but right now it is something that we should leverage. I think that further down the road, because I know in my future past profession, I could have, in my job that I did, I could tell you that we could have got rid of half the people, given how we could reconfigure things based on AI. So I had about 40 people reporting to me. I could have got rid of 20 of them easily, more than 20, frankly. I could use AI and get more than 20. I didn't need entry-level people. I didn't need mid-level people. Just need people who understand the business to do the oversight to make sure things work the right way. So yeah, now it's a good thing to use. But one second, Dr. Don. I think you're dropping you. Say it again. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm saying I came from analog TV to now TV on the internet. TV times is changing, and you have to adjust, Frankie. Or else you're going to be left behind, because medicine now they don't even need anesthesiologists anymore. You know what they have? Nurses doing anesthesiology. So you know how medical school, you go to medical school for 4 years, right? And then you do 4 years of residency. Nurse anesthetics they don't even need that anymore. It's much cheaper. So what a lot of hospitals are doing, they're hiring nurse anesthetics, which is only 2 years of nursing school, and the extra 2 years, they're done. So they're not doing the extra 8 years of studying that medicine do. It's like everything is just changing. And now AI is coming about and doing stuff. I'm telling you, if you can invest in any AI company, I think you should just go for it.
Well,
because you're going to be
NVIDIA
rich.
was the one company, but NVIDIA has been hot for the last 3 years. I didn't buy NVIDIA because the company it was a financial service company. As you know, you work in financial service. It was hard to buy anything. They put you through the rigmarole, and I just say, you know what? A little bit of money, you manage it. I'm not buying anything. I'm very upset that I can't buy what I want. But NVIDIA has been hot for the last 3 years, right? So people are investing in AI companies. Like Microsoft has been hot. I have Microsoft. Microsoft has been hot for the longest because of Copilot, because of AI, not because of just, Windows and all that. It's been hot because it's invested so much money in AI. And that's for all the companies. Now, some companies are going to fail. Even some of the big ones are going to fail because you're going to have a flush out of companies. But you got to figure out, where's AI going? How will these companies, that's what come to leverage it. Like car manufacturers, for example, Tesla is ahead. Other companies are trying to come up. AI is going to be driving your car, which it does now, even better than you can drive it. So it's just got to learn the environment.
Tell you about that. Thank you. I forgot to tell you about. So I went to San Francisco last week, and in San Francisco they have these cars that you just book it. You just like Uber, and you just drive it.
You mean Waymo? Waymo?
I don't know what it is, Frankie.
Yeah, Google Waymo. Yeah.
I tried to take it, but I was like, you know what? There's somebody driving this car. We're getting into a car accident. Frankie, the car stopped at a light. Frankie, the car. Frankie, the car stopped at a light. Drive. It takes you around the city in San Francisco. I was there last week, and I was like, yo, I'm not doing this. That's how we have gone. Car driving itself.
No, you can do it. What's his name? What's the guy name on YouTube? He's very popular, millions of subscribers. Marcus. What's Marcus' last name? I saw him do it the other day with Waymo. He went to Texas. I think he did it with a Tesla. He didn't do it with Waymo. He did it with a Tesla and another car where he took it. It made a few mistakes, but nothing consequential. No. I mean, think about it. The system has to understand. The system has to gather enough data to be able to understand and navigate different environments. And he's going to make mistakes, just like humans do. But if it's in a normal operating environment, it will just operate normally. It's not like a human being with emotions going to do what it's supposed to do until it gets emotional. Because it's going to get emotional one day. Maybe not in my lifetime, but it's going to get emotional.
My friend is a computer engineer, and he got hired. He's hired by a company who sort out mistakes from AI, right?
Yeah.
He's a computer engineer. So I will say, though, AI is good, but we have to use that as a reference tool as well. What I like about it, Frankie, is just it put together everything in a library, everything in one place. Because whenever I put in AI, so for instance, Frankie, you come in and say, Frankie, come in, and you have a headache that lasts me for 10 days. So I'll say patients been complaining about 10-day headache, and it will give me differential for what possibly be the problem.
You're breaking up, Dr. Don. You're breaking up. Sorry, you're breaking up. Say it again. Sorry, you broke up a while ago. I think AI messing with your phone. Or your phone need AI. One of them. Dr. Don, I think we lost. Yeah. I lost you a while ago. Go ahead. I lost you a while ago.
No. I was saying that, okay. So look, right, Frankie, clinic pretty often, right? I believe you told a story how you visit clinic pretty often. So when you go to clinic, right?
Yeah.
And I'll say, this patient comes in. Like, for instance, I did it today, actually. Let me tell you what I did today. So I went to the clinic today, and my patient came in. He's been having this crippling headache for he said for like 5-6 years. So I gave him all the headache medication that we can, and still not helping. So I said, you know what? I put it into the AI system, Frankie, and they tell me, get him to a neurologist. He may have this kind of cancer, this, check this medication. And I was like, wow. So you know what I did? Refer him to a neurologist.
What's your order? Is it chat or what do you call it? Which one? Chat or Google? What's the Google one? Gemini.
So I have the chat GPT. I have open evidence. Look it up. Pull it up on your phone right now. The problem is, in order for you to get open evidence, you have to have a medical license. So that one is for the medical. Open evidence is for medicine.
Oh, okay.
Yes, open evidence for medicine. So
here's what people don't understand, Dr. Dan, which is all chat is doing, is getting all the data from so many different sources, collate the information, assess the information, and spit out the answer. No human being have the ability to do that. None. Not with that level of speed and quality. Now, the quality is not always the greatest. So that's why I use 3 websites when I do anything. I use 3 sites. I will use Gemini, I use Chat, and then I use, I don't know what's slipping me now, Perplexity. I will use 3 of them. And each of them will give you something a little bit different. There'll be nuance, or somebody just tell you this is wrong. And even sometimes all 3 of them are wrong. That's why I like to understand my subject first before I do anything.
You know what, too, Frankie? Sometimes I will test it first, too. But it's actually, the information is pretty, I would say about 90% accurate. That's pretty accurate.
No. If you have to guide it, you have to tell it, look, you need to check claims and stats for facts. Doesn't mean I always get it right. But then it will say, okay, I was too rushed. I mean, I'm telling you, people, it's like talking to a person. I was too rushed. I'm so sorry. You're right. And I said, sometimes I just say, I won't tell you what I tell it. Anyway, I would just get upset and say, you gave me the wrong data and information because I know this is wrong. I can't use this information in any forum please, you need to take more care when you do it, and it will apologize like a regular no, most Jamaicans wouldn't apologize. They want to cuss you back. But anyway, it will tell you that it's sorry, and it will give you updated information. I say, go check your sources, double check your sources, check your sources. So I have standard language. I don't ask it when I'm asking questions. So you can do the check. You sometimes have to remind it, actually. It will have your configuration of what you want, but you sometimes have to ask it, put in a certain form and way in which it can understand, and we'll do the right checks. And then I will go check two other AIs just to get comfortable with it, with the information. But I don't go to the doctor. I don't go to the doctor unless I use AI. I don't go to the doctor. When I go to the doctor, anything they tell me, anything I get my results, first I just go on AI and I do my thorough check on AI and what I need in terms of remedy. That's what I do.
To be honest, Frankie, you're the type of patient I don't like. Don't come in and try to tell me. No, seriously. I have this patient, like I had this lady who came to me, was like, oh, she's already telling me what she's like describing with, like, she's like, I'm Dr. Google and all that stuff. Then again, it's easier now with AI, consuming everything because it's just put into Google, but like it's just different. So it makes you like you have to know you have to know your stuff because you already been fact checked before they even come in because they already give you the symptoms.
No, I am not gonna tell you. I want you to show me, and I'm checking you. I do it differently. I'm not going to come in and show like I know everything. No, I will say, doc XYZ, and then let you tell me what I'm checking. I already checked AI about what the outcome should be. And if it doesn't align, that's when we're going to have the conversation. I am checking you. I'm checking how well you're doing, but sometimes doctors don't want to say they don't know.
Yeah, that's true. Cranky, here's the thing, right? I'm going to be honest with you. We don't know everything. Listen, any doctor that tell you they know everything, it's a problem. That's number one. Number two, you go to medical school for 4 years, Cranky, right?
Yeah.
You tell me you can't remember every disease in everybody 4 years. So what in medicine, what we do, we study the common things. It's the common things that we treat first. Okay, let's look at it this way. When you do a flu season, right, Cranky, they give you a flu shot. You know what's in that flu shot? The common flu for that particular season. It covers that. Then you have the outliers where research matters. That's why research is so heavy because R&D is where you pick up on rare diseases. Like you have doctors who say, I've practiced for 30 years, I've never seen that, but you see it in a book. That's what it is because why do you think we'll treat heart failure? Because we could treat heart failure easy because it's the most common killer in all of the world. So it's the same medication over and over and over again. It's the stuff that we don't know. So a doctor can never know everything. If they ever tell that, they're lying because you don't think about if you don't practice something every day, you lose it, right? Because the memory has so much you have to learn. Like, for instance, if I see you this week, Cranky, I see 50 patients versus a week. I don't even remember who you are. I don't remember what you have. I have to go trigger my memory.
Right. Yep. So if you got a photographic memory, or I call it a photoscopic memory, so you can see the information versus photographic, then that's very, very difficult. The AI, if programmed the right way, is going to be there sitting. It ain't going to forget. It may make mistakes, but it's not because it forgot it made mistakes. It's because it checked the wrong source. Because what AI does is go and check different sources, You sometimes tell AI to, you know what I have AI do nowadays? Show me your source. What are your sources you get the information from? So I would have it give me printouts with the sources listed in a comment section of where it gets it. And sometimes here's when I know this is wrong. Sometimes you realize I can transfer data and transfer amounts. You go to sports mode, you go to transfer market, all these different sources. They're never aligned. Some will use add-ons, some will not use add-ons, some will money conversion may be wrong. And you realize that it's people just using guesstimates or estimates or what they deem to be reasonable. They're not using exact numbers. And then chat will pick up the one which you didn't align with. And so it's interesting. He's asking Dr. Dan, Tycoon is saying, what's the best doctor buy in the medical field?
Wait, let me
give a caveat. Dr. Dan is not a financial expert. Neither is Cranky in terms of having the requisite licenses to give financial advice. He's just going to tell you from his own perspective what he considers to be good areas that have potential.
So first, let me answer Drew Ross. Drew Ross, honestly,
not Drew Ross. It's Tycoon, not Drew Ross.
Drew Ross asked a question in the chat already.
Oh, okay. All right, Dr. Dan, I want to get answer. You can't. We couldn't hear Dr. Dan. Go ahead.
No, I said Drew. As a physician myself, I hate going to the doctor. So I guess the answer to your question is, if the only issue you're gonna have, Drew Ross, is that you need labs. Labs and image would tell you exactly what you have. You can have symptoms, but symptoms overlap. So I may have a headache, and the headache could mean several different things. You need a doctor. You also need a doctor to give those. So that's two issues. So you do need a doctor. Symptoms can overlap. You need labs. Like, how do you know you're anemic? You know you're anemic because you get tired, but because you get tired, it could be different things. So yeah, that's the symptoms wise. But Tycoon, to answer your question, honestly, I think the best way to invest when it comes to medicine, man, is like medical devices. Because I say, for instance, if you can get anywhere in a medical device, like for like an MRI machine that costs like $1 million, that's why whenever at hospitals they push you to do MRIs because that's where you're making money. An MRI, if you get MRI, it costs about $1,200, but the hospital gets $20,000 from that, right? So if you invest in an MRI company, those will help. I think anything imaging wise, that's like the best thing to help. But again, I haven't done much studying since I left investment banking. I haven't picked up a lot of that stuff. Frankie might knows a lot more because he's global.
No, I mean, look. I mean, in today's environment, most people are focused on AI and AI-related companies. So you see, I think somebody put on what's the name of the company? Palantir, which has been going crazy of days. Any company that's using AI and is really in depth in it in all different fields is really focused. Just think about it this way. We went from agrarian to industrial to technology. Now we're going to AI. That's where we're going. We're not going back. So if you can think futuristically, what disciplines are going to leverage AI to be very effective? Think about the fundamentals of life, right? It's going to be in your health. It's going to be in finances. It's going to be where you live and what you wear. And, prison system is always going to do really well. So if you look at the fundamentals and then break it down and work yourself backwards, you'll figure it out. And do some reading too. If you want immediate investment, you got to do some reading. You got to read some research papers. All these companies that produce research papers and by the way, learn to read financial statements. And yeah, get the book that says Finances for Dummies. That's very important. Yeah, go ahead.
The good thing about your program is I've learned from everybody here. A lot of your fans and supporters have vast things. I do think that maybe one day you can have a panelist where just have people free and bring up different topics and you run it because like look, we're talking football here, we are talking about investment and AI. So I think you do have that vast, diverse fans. So I don't want to take over the program. You're talking about Arsenal, but I think that's something that you probably should look into.
No, I'm going to do it actually. I had a immigration lawyer. I haven't contacted her in about a week and a half. That's supposed to be coming on. I have a friend of mine who's a judge. She's supposed to be coming on, but she wants to wait until she's in London now till next month. I have some people I've contacted. The problem I'm running into, Dr. Dan, is the people who are in corporate, when the field lights are working, they don't want to come on because they're concerned about coming on a podcast and how their company would perceive it. I used to be like that when I was in that environment, so I understand. But those are people I would love to come on and talk more finances and more fundamental finances. I've been trying to get someone to come on. They promise, and then they come up with excuses. So I gotta figure it out.
What about basic? Because I think our fan base, right, is a lot of your fan base is towards the Caribbean, right? I think one of the most important things is like I know when I was younger, my parents would do partner draw and all that stuff. I think the basics of partner draw is pretty much finance, right? Savings and all these things. Like for instance, me, I watch on YouTube. I look up like high yield savings account for 2025. How much percentage yield I get? So that's when I pick those and then invest, put my money in there, like money market account stuff. I know that's probably something that will be helpful, but obviously that would take research and stuff. But I mean, just watching the comments from since I've been following you, I notice a lot of people are interested in different things. I mean, I know football is the main topic, but they're vastly diverse on the, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they should go to my website too and sign up. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do the topics that are on my website. Because they cut across everything, right? I'm gonna stop. That's why it's me cutting back on football, to be honest. I'm gonna do topics on my website. So whether it's about social, cultural, technology, news, I'm gonna start doing one topic or two topics from that every week, which will cut across and in investing, real estate, all those different disciplines. But what I need to do though is line up people because it works better with panelists versus just me talking.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, because I saw you did. I think last session you talked about
religious, and it was a lot of people was chiming in.
Wait, Dr. Dan, I have Pastor coming on next week Sunday, people. August 31st, 3:30 p.m. Lansley Blake, otherwise known as Fractional Pastor, is going to come in, one of his church brothers or whatever we call them, and we're going to talk about the whole concept of God. I don't want to put any label on it. It could be called the God question. It could be God. Does God exist? It could be called, if God is good, why do we have hell? I'm going to say something about that though, which is very important. I've said this numerous times. Please get comfortable with the uncomfortable. You can't live and you have questions and you'd be afraid to ask because you were trained when you're growing up that you shouldn't ask certain questions. Then you go and blaspheme. Please stop. I'm not denigrating anybody's religion. If you believe, that's your prerogative, right? But you can't be in life saying, oh, you can't say that, cranky, oh my God, and you're losing your mind. I've gotten that more recently. I've gotten that from people on my channel, and I've gotten that from my son. I talked to him 2 days ago. He grew up in the church, and he called me, and I said, I'm having this program. You watch the show, and he started getting out nervous. I'm like, stop. You're not a kid anymore. Stop. Open your mind up. He and I have a good conversation. My nephew was the same way. My nephew asked me, Dr. Dan, aren't you afraid of being canceled? I'm like, what are you talking about? It's like, if you go down that route, you can get canceled. And I'm saying, I'm kind of retired. I don't care about getting canceled, but I'm not going to ask the question that needs to be asked. So I'm looking forward to next week, Sunday. Hopefully, and Pastor just text me something a while ago. We can have the conversation. Odell, I thought he was always injured. Anyway, let me stop saying that. All right, Dr. Dan. Dr. Dan, is still there? Yeah, man.
Okay, Sylvester. Sorry, man. Continue.
All right.
No, but Kirk, my 2 cents in the I think if
what?
Crystal Palace cannot afford to give up Eze because they might get relegated.
No, they won't get relegated. They got a good coach. They got a decent team. Both Eze and Goey are going to leave, I think. They can't afford to have Goey leave without getting 40 million for him. And that's not a good deal for them. They can't even leave for free next year. He doesn't care, because if he leaves next year as a free agent, he's going to get a big sign-on fee. He wants to get money early at Liverpool. They'll pay him much more than he makes now at Crystal Palace. But they need to sell him for about 40 million. They want 40. Liverpool don't want to pay him more than 40, because by January, he can sign with the overseas team. Right? So they're going to buy him for about 35, and we'll pay 60 for Eze. That's 95. They got to reinvest in 95. They got Sarr. They got Mateta. They have a very good midfield. They'll be okay. They'll be okay. They got Tyreek Mitchell going to come play for Jamaica. They'll be okay. They'll be okay, Dr. Dan. I think we lost Dr. Dan, people. Let me just say this. Back to the sports quickly. Let me just say this, people. We're going to move to track and field. We're done with Arsenal. I don't know why we talk about Arsenal. Now, I did predict this, but that's like me saying water makes you good and healthy. But as you know, today, Seville race again now. So let me stop talking and just put up this. This is the race in Lausanne, Switzerland. Oblique Seville race against Noah. Look at these people. This is no different from the London race, It's not even close. And here's what's interesting about that race. When Seville runs against Noah, when he runs against Kishane, he pulled Kishane in. Because at 80 meters, Kishane is starting to regress. His deceleration is much quicker than most of the other runners, frankly. Especially Zarnel Hughes and Noah Lyles. I'll play it again, people, because if it's nice, you have to play it twice. You have to play it twice, people. You have to play it twice. Now, look at this race. Sabini is running down the track nowadays. Blake, you know what I like about this too? Blake has a brilliant start. We're running one more time, people, because, you have to do it 3 times. Thrice. Look at Blake's start. Hakeem Blake, look at his start, and look at Seville's start. Because they're out of the blocks like shots fired. We know Noah is slow. Look at Blake. Blake is ahead right there, First 2 steps, he's gone. But he's an 80-meter runner. At 80, look how Noah can pull Blake in. They're going to run the same time, but look how Noah pulled Blake in. But he can't pull in Seville. He doesn't pull in Seville at all. And I am, when I had this, I'm going to say this actually. To Leighton Levy, and Leighton, Like your show, Mr. Analyst was watching your show last night, doing a very good job. Keep up the good work as usual. That's what we expect from you. You're a professor in this space. You're a guru in this space. If you haven't subscribed to Mr. Analyst, the Leighton Levy show, Leighton Levy was at Sportsmax, big time Jamaica sports commentator, not track and field, a newspaper person, and he's been doing a good job. But when he was on my program, he did say this.
The reality is that if Oblique can get past the mental side of that thing and put whatever happened in the past behind it, which is a lot easier said than done, and run like he knows he can win it. And similar for Kishane as well.
So he's very big on Oblique, actually, and he said that Oblique there is some mental issue there, and there's also, when he runs the rounds, some buildup of some fluid or something in his body that precludes him from operating a certain way. And if you look at the field, this is the field, and these are the times, right? Seville was the only person under 10 seconds, just like when Kishane won, Kishane time. What Noah ran? 9-9. That's not true. In Kishane's race, Noah was under 10. Noah ran 9-9. So he looked like he was getting better. Kishane ran the same time as Oblique. The difference between Oblique and Kishane time is this. The weather conditions here were awful. Raining all day, wet, slow track, soggy. He still ran 9.87. And he won easily. You know that Kishane beat Noah by 0.03. This is different. He beat him by 0.15? That's a big distance in a 100-meter race. Right? Everybody has run 10 plus. You know that Akeem Blake is quality. People, if we can get our 4x1 team to practice, which is an imperative, which is important, Akeem starting off, Oblique run the second leg, Lavelle run in the corner, which he destroys a lot of times, and Thompson bring it home, we can afford some not the best batting change and still beat most teams. The U.S. going to be tough with if the runners that they have, with Coleman starting for them. They'll have Bednarek, they'll have Lyles. But right now, we may have 3 of the 4 fastest men in track and field. 3 of the 4 fastest, especially over the 100. Because if Lavelle didn't run out at the trials and then plays third, the fact that he ran a 986 or 982, one of them? What did he run? 986 or 982, one of those. He is one of the fastest runners currently. And he's young, and he's getting stronger, and he's getting better every single day. I'm going to love to see him in the 200 against Noah. Yeah, Kishane supposedly has some spur injuries, heel spur, whatever it is. He has some injury. There's a cranky. When Seville beat Kishane, talk to me. Kishane is like both. Everyone. Yeah, no. Here's the thing. I think Oblique can beat Kishane. I don't think Kishane handles. So Kishane, you know that Noah say he has Kishane in his pocket? Kishane has Seville in his pocket. I don't think Noah has Kishane in his pocket. Right? But he's beating him, and that makes him more comfortable. But he's barely beating him. Not like he beat him by how he got beaten twice by Seville. Seville has destroyed Noah 3 times now, When they ran last year in Jamaica, Seville beat him easily. He beat him easily in London, and he beats him now. Because you know why? His deceleration is much slower than Kishane, because Kishane is always leading when the tape is not there. Right? And start tying up at 80. If you look at Kishane's race, he's way out in front come to 50. And then his deceleration is happening faster than, say, a Noah, for example. Oblique can maintain his speed for a longer period of time, and it's crazy. Crazy. So I would expect if Oblique can get through the rounds, which is what his problem is, that would be a different story. 982, okay. If you can get through the rounds, and look, Oblique in Jamaica, here's what we're forgetting to Odell. You remember the race in Jamaica with Oblique? When he's going through his mental situation? I think he thought he was going to pull because he had a problem in the semifinal. You have to remember that he didn't get the best of start. Kishane was way out in front. He still ran, 982 when Kishane ran his 975. And he had a poor start by his standard. Poor start. If he had gotten a better start, it may be a different race. I don't think Kishane can pull him in because Kishane's start is so explosive. He's so strong when he's out the blocks. But I think if he gets side by side with Kishane, it's a different race. It's going to be interesting. Stefan says, Cranky, Kishane and Oblique are doing well over the proof in the pudding. So, yeah, but look, we can only go by what's happening now. And they both look phenomenal. Now, what you don't want is for them to peak too early, right? Still a month before the championship. we don't want to be too early, but early evidence suggests it's going to be a good world championship. Unlike the Olympics, where we got 1 gold medal in the field events, I am optimistic that we can get 1 in the men, 4x1, at least those 2. We can't get nothing in the jumps anymore. Gale won today because people like Pinnock are now they're now Turks, or they're Turkish resident. They're not Jamaicans anymore. And I was thinking about that today. And I've said this before, which is this: a lot of Jamaicans are the biggest hypocrite on God's earth. They will cuss the diaspora players about how they go play for England, they're born in England, and they only want to come when they're rejects and they're past their prime. And then we have prime Jamaican track and field athletes who go for the money, and they're like, yeah, take the money and go, man. It's all right. They'll do the same to me and my family. I am not hating on anybody, but don't be a goddamn hypocrite, okay? Be consistent in your perspective. If you're a patriot, you're a patriot, even though the diaspora players are not born in Jamaica, but you're mandate and come play for Jamaica, and you might reject. And then you have nothing negative to say about the people who go run for Turkey, even though they're born in Jamaica, grew up in Jamaica, train in Jamaica, leverage Jamaica infrastructure and support system and coaching to get where they are. And then dash out Jamaica for money. Jamaica Judas. I don't support them. Can't have it both ways. Be fair. Right? Be fair. Don't be hypocrites, be fair. Treat everybody the same. Don't go with the same local born versus overseas born. Treat people the same, no matter where they're born or what persuasion they are, whatever it is. Be fair. Oh, there's a cranky. I watched Sharika last week when she won, but it wasn't impressive. Something ain't the same with her. Yeah, no, it's not the same Sharika. First of all, nobody should be pulling Sharika in, right? Sharika shouldn't get run down by anybody because she's a 400-meter runner by history, by where she started out, and she was good at it, right? She was good at it. That's why she's like a boat. You start with the 4, you come down to the 1 and 2. You're supposed to still have the strength. All you got to work on is the speed. So her injury hasn't helped her out at all because since she's come back, it's not been the same Sharika. Remember, Sharika was running under 22 people for a long period of time. She has run under 22 in a while, right? She's not going 10-7s anymore. She's not going 21x. She's going 22. She's going late 10-8s and 10-9s and 11. It's not a good look. So I don't expect much from Sharika. If Talou runs like she's running now, even though she always chokes, I hate to use that term, and if you have Melissa Jefferson and you have who's the unicorn? Melissa Jefferson, national unicorn, and then you have the St. Lucian, then I don't see us meddling. Cranky Life, them use Jamaica to get Turkish citizens. Yeah, well, they got it. Even though they still compete on a Jamaica banner, but that will soon change. We soon recognize them. Cranky, as we get older, yeah, but she's not 30 yet, right? She's not 30 yet, Dr. Dan. So it's a little bit surprising that some people finish faster than others, but she's not 30 yet, so it's a little bit surprising that's happening. And my hope is that as she goes closer to the World Championship, she'll get back to what we know as Sharika. That may never happen, actually. My biggest disappointment when it comes to the women is that Tia Clayton will not be running the 100. Very disappointing. What's also disappointing is that the Clayton twins are not running the 200 like they used to. Remember they used to run the 200 quite a bit in champs, for example, and do really well? Not surprising. She's 30, 31. I thought she was like 29, actually. Maybe she is. But even at that age, you're supposed to be just passing your peak. So, or close to your peak or past your peak. And in today's environment, peak used to be late 20s. People are extending that peak period. So, but it's really interesting that Tia is our best 100-meter runner for the woman, and she's not in the team. They should bring her into the relays. She finished down the track at trials because she got hurt. But she's the best right now. I mean, she's beaten Tina easily. And Tina was the better of the two at one point. Tina was a double under 20 champion, but it's not working. It's not working like it used to. Tia is the best, and she's not able to run because obviously, unlike some countries, Jamaica is not like the US, but similar in that it's based on places. they do have a little bit of discretion, but the only person who could drop out is Shelley, and I'm sure Shelley's not going to give up her swan song to let Tia run. So that's not happening at all. So we'll see what happens. But it should be very interesting, actually, in terms of the World Championship. I'm really looking forward to the World Championship. I will do watch along for the World Championship because I think it should be really interesting. It should be good. Yeah, she will be, but Tia is running much better. In fact, you watched that race the other day. What did Tia run? 1082? Yeah, Tia is running much better, actually, than any other sprinters, frankly. So I know Ashanti Moore made the qualifying time, but I don't expect her to play. So it's going to be interesting how that works out. But I didn't come to stay long, people. This is an hour show, and I already passed my hour. I want to say a couple of things. First of all, as an Arsenal fan, I'm extremely pleased to see we maybe getting Eze. That was the biggest disappointment for Arsenal fans. Just looking around and thinking we're going to get Eze and no Eze, and goalkeepers look poor, and none of the new signings stood out. And then to hear me get Eze today, and we know how good Eze is great. And then to watch the race today, and it's not only that, you know what? I need to watch the race again. I'm sorry, I need to watch the race again. Not only did Oblique win, look at these people. It's not even close. It's like he's running against, look at Simbini. Look at Lyles. Look at, you know what? It's where was Zanel used? I thought Zanel was in the race. Did he not run? Let me see it again. Maybe play this about 100 times, Zanel used finished, what, 5th? Zanel has a blistering last 30 normally, but so Oblique won. They gave Noah the second, even though he had the same time as Akeem. Simbini came 4th. Zanel came 5th. Simbini remind me of Safa. Run good in prelims and in big race coming disappear. If Tia wins Diamond League final, she gets a bye in the World Championship. Yeah, but if you're running against Melissa Jefferson and Juliet, I don't know how that works. I don't know how that works, people. I don't. You think that's possible? And just Pia Melissa. Pia Melissa. Right? You gotta Pia Melissa. You gotta pay Melissa and pay Julian Alfred to not run. Because I don't see nobody beat Melissa anytime soon. I know when Leighton was on, he thinks that Julian can win, but Melissa is running like somebody takes something from him and try to catch them. Yeah, if Jefferson don't run, if Julian don't run, yeah, it's got to be both of them. She can win if none of those two are running, but those two are in a different class. It's those two competing against each other, and then we have the rest. So Melissa doesn't run any more Diamond League. Then you got to think about, does Julian Alfred run? And she hasn't been running much either. Some people are shutting down, They're just preparing and tinkering. They don't want anybody to see what they're doing and how they're doing between now and the championship. Tia needs to just keep on running. If that's possible, then, and she can get in by that route, then that'd be a great thing. But does she have enough points to qualify? It'd be interesting how that works out, though. People, if you haven't hit the like button, please do so. Don't be stingy with the likes. And if you haven't subscribed, or if you haven't subscribed to my website, please do so. It's ssnnlive.com. I have taken off a week from the website, but I plan to, by the end of this week, go back and get more involved, get the articles up and running. And as I said before earlier in the program, I plan to do shows based on those articles that I write. Cranky, let's just be real. Arsenal is not winning the EPL, so stop fooling yourself. Somebody just text me and say, Eze is leaning towards Spurs. What are we talking about? Lord have mercy. Oh, it's a joke. I was going to say, I'm not talking. I just got a text from England. They're setting a joke. I should post this. How can I get this up? Let me see if I can get people. Hey, one of the people, in nowadays, we have technology, They have all these jokes, boy. All these jokes. It's funny. All these jokes. You can't make this up. Cannot make this up. You cannot make this up. Cannot make this up. But it's gonna be an interesting. Why can't I do this? It's gonna be an interesting period as it relates to the EPL, because that's my team, Arsenal, have done a brilliant job. I don't know what happened to my program, I've done a brilliant job of transfers this season. I didn't know we had that much money, people, to be honest. I didn't know we had that much money. I mean, I know we had funds, but I had no idea we had that much money. It's a lot of money. Lots and lots of money, and we're spending it. We're spending the cranky's money. Not afraid to spend it. And I'm not going to complain. Not going to complain that we're spending it because at the end of the day, I just dropped something. I can't find it. At the end of the day, we're trying to win the EPL. And right now, we have not done the best job. We've got a lot of grief. Everybody makes fun of us. We're not going to win the EPL. We're awful. We're terrible. We run second. That's all we do. We know how to come second. We don't know how to win. Well, you know what? Maybe we're going to have the last laugh. Maybe we'll have the last laugh. At least I hope we have the last laugh. I hope we have the last laugh. I don't know where this thing is not. But who are you guys picking to win the EPL now, actually? Because Liverpool may not be getting Isak from what people are saying, right? Liverpool may not be getting Isak. So if that's the case, who would you pick to win the EPL? Are you guys considering Arsenal? Do you think we have a chance in you know what? Or do you think it's out of our reach? This is Spurs leaning. Is it leaning towards Spurs? That's Eze leading towards Spurs, people. You want to see it again? This is Eze leading towards Spurs. Those of you who are Spurs fans, just look at this video. How people just have fun with this whole thing. That's Eze leading towards Spurs. He's leading the other way now. And put on that Arsenal gear. If you're a football player and you have any modicum of intellect, why would you choose Spurs over Arsenal? Not happening. We struggled to put in the bid because I think we're looking at other options, and maybe we want Crystal Palace to go down from the 68 million, which they did, because supposedly we're going to pay them 60. So it's a good thing. Now, why Dr. Dan saying, Dr. Dan, why are you saying Man U? What's about Man U? What is about Man U, Dr. Dan? You give Man U a chance to... Where do you see Man U finishing, Dr. Dan and Drew Ross? Where do you see Man U finishing this season? Is Man U going to be in the top 6? How Man U has fallen. You know, one time, people, in the 90s and up until 2010, it was all Man U and Arsenal, but it was mainly Man U, you know. Man U dominated, winning Champions League, FA Cup for fun, Premier League for fun, back to back, and we would nip them once in a while, but they dominated. And now they're like, unless apart from the money they have been good for a while. They really haven't been good since Fergie left. But right now, they look decent. They outplayed us, so we can't really say much. No, that's not what they said, actually, Odell. They didn't say they're not letting Isak go. People, they were very cute with their statement. Very cute. They basically said, Isak said promises were made. They said no promises were made. And they basically kind of inferred from their statement that his valuation has not been met, basically. And that, look, if you don't meet the valuation, they're going to bring him back into the family. But if they get 150, he's gone. But they're not going to get 150. Because Liverpool is probably thinking, too much trouble. We're not paying 150. He's not worth 150. we have our own valuation, because people nowadays, stats and numbers are the imperatives. People are doing their own valuation, using different factors and metrics to assess players' values. Nobody wants to overpay. And I assume that's why Crystal Palace, why Spurs lost Eze to us, as it appears, not done deal yet. So I don't want to start gloating and it doesn't happen. But because they were saying, look, if he's 26, 27 years old, most of the players you see are 21, 22 going for 50, 55, whether it's Gittins or Madueke or Ilanga. Why should we be paying 60 plus 8? And they're going to be easy add-ons, 68 million for a player. We're playing overpaying. And Daniel Levy likes the label of being this great negotiator and this tough. Well, you know what? Steve Parish at Crystal Palace is also tough. And I was talking to somebody, a real good friend of mine, who's a great Crystal Palace fan. She sent me all these pictures. She's a member of Crystal Palace. She go to all the games. I got to talk to her tomorrow. I'm going to call her. She sent me all these pictures of them celebrating their cup and they're happy and things are going well. So we may be happy, but if you're Crystal Palace, you're not happy. A Crystal Palace fan, you lost Olise last year. You may lose these two. And Mateta and Sarr may be sitting there saying, and what's his name? The midfielder? Not Hughes, the other one. He may be sitting there saying, look, why shouldn't we go next? Right? Why should we go next? So it's going to be interesting. But I know Drew Ross, Man U fan, Dr. Dan Man U fan, you guys should feel better this year. All right? Wharton. Thanks, Eddie Guna. Wharton. You guys should feel better this year because you guys are looking better than you were previously. You should feel better. You shouldn't feel horrible about your situation. We made Casemiro look like he's the next coming of who? Was it Perlo or was it we made Casemiro look like he can run last Sunday. Bless up Tuffy Rudy. We made all these players look great. And we were poor. I mean, Declan Rice didn't turn up. Gokeres looked like a championship player. Martinelli wasn't playing, even though he didn't get a lot of service. Saka looked poor, couldn't beat Shaw for whatever. Nobody played well. Ødegaard is overrated. Sorry, he's overrated. I've been saying this for a little while now. Had a brilliant season 2 seasons ago. Watch him a ton. If you're playing the 10 in today's football, you got to be able to put the ball in the net. Sorry. I don't like you to pray, put the ball between the legs. You can't go by, you can't run by anybody. You can't leave anybody. You can't skin anybody. You can beat them, but you're not going far. And us playing the way we play now, I think Eze will change this way. If he plays Ødegaard, he normally plays on the left for Crystal Palace, but it's almost like a pseudo 10 and a Foz winger. He will probably play a little bit more central and be much more versatile in terms of how he supports his two wingers and his center forward. I think it's our style of what we play, but we're one-dimensional with an inverted type midfield where Declan playing box to box, Ødegaard playing much more forward, and then we're playing Zubimendi in a single pivot. That single pivot ain't working with Zubimendi. He's too slow. Don't cover enough ground like Partey does. That single pivot ain't working. It's not my notification, Midnight Cowboy. I have nothing to do with that. Talk to YouTube. I don't know about notifications. People, please explain. Do you guys get notifications? Because I get that from a few people out sometimes. You may have turned something on wrong or right. It's not me. Is the best 10-9 role. Yeah. I mean, Eze is a 10 and an 8, even though he's not a great 8 defensively, to be honest. That's what makes Declan Rice look so good because he plays really well defensively. He started at center back. But Eze is going to be brilliant for us. The question is, where's he going to play? We're glad we got him. So now we got him and we all happy. And you look at the team, people don't realize this. Well, you can have, 9 people on the bench? Last game, Zinchenko didn't change. Kirior didn't change. Norgard didn't change. And the bench was still full. Now, Havertz is out. Eze will always change, but people, and Nwaneri may not change some games. It's going to be interesting how it works out. We can't have, if we have Timber on the bench, well, Timber going to start. Ben White on the bench, Luis Scalia Calafiori on the bench. That's 2 defensive positions. You take one more, Mascara on the bench. You're going to only have 1 center back, 2 cover. You will have too many people. Merino, it's going to be interesting. Some people going to get their feelings hurt on match day. That's why you're Pep complaining about having too many players because some people will not change in match day. Some people will not change match day. Last game City played, Foden didn't play. Savina didn't play. No, Foden's injured. Savina didn't play because there was debate about going to Spurs. And Rodri didn't play. And then they had a few players who still didn't change. So I don't know how that works. Good players on the bench can't be happy. You don't even get on the bench. Forget about being on the bench. You don't even get on the bench. Now, I know Nelson and Zinchenko may be sold. Trossard is not being sold. So it's going to be interesting. Yeah, but you know what we do? We sell at the flea market, Eddie Gooner. We are the worst in the Premier League of selling. There's no team worse than us when it comes to selling. I see Hutchinson going for 35 mil plus add-ons. I see Kwanzaa going for 30-something mil plus add-ons. Kwanzaa was okay for Liverpool. We want to sell Kiwior for 25 plus add-ons. What the hell is that? Over-negotiate sales for us is awful. Now, maybe because we pay too much money, so the salaries are huge, but we don't know how to sell. We sell Neto for like 15, 18. We're selling for teens. People are selling for 40, 50. Liverpool made 190 million plus from sales. We don't know how to sell. We're awful sellers. Awful sellers. You go back to our history. We've never sold a player for over 40 million pounds. Never in our history that I know of. Was the biggest sale we made, wasn't it Overmars? Or was it Iwobi? We don't sell player over 40 million pounds. Then we got about 25 for Willard, maybe 30, maybe about almost 40 for Iwobi or 30-something plus add-ons. Maybe Overmars or Iwobi. We are awful sellers. Think about it, in your history of your club, you never had a sale over 40 million pounds that I can recall. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I cannot recall us having a sale over 40 million pounds. That is awful. Every other club I know of that's been in the top six, Spurs sell Modric and Bale for a ton of money. Man U sell a ton of money. Think about Ronaldo even way back when. And even later on, they want to sell what's the kid, the Argentinian, for over 40 mil. Even though Man U have the same problem we have. They pay out so much money in wages, nobody can afford those wages. That's why they can't sell Sancho. That's why they couldn't sell Rashford. That's why they couldn't sell De Gea. They can't sell anybody because they paid him so much in wages. We're beginning to be the same. Nelson makes $100,000 a year. For a man who barely ever played, that's a lot of money. They can go down to the last year of his contract. Then they sign him for $100,000. Fulham can't pay afford Nelson $100,000. That's why those deals get held up. $100,000 transferred to $5 million a year. He was making $50,000. That's $2.5 million added on to that price. It's not a good look. Not a good look. We need to sell Martinelli. Does anybody want to buy Martinelli? People outside the Premier League, and maybe nowadays Turkey, a lot of people have a lot of money to spend, you know. The big three in La Liga, you look at all the teams that they spend money. The big three in La Liga, maybe some of the big 4 or 5 in between Milan and Inter Milan and Napoli and a few more. And in Germany, Bayern, maybe only Bayern, because the rest of the clubs, Leipzig, Dortmund, they ain't spending a ton of money. They buy with a view to sell on. And in Portugal, it's even worse. Porto, Sporting, they all buy low and sell high. Premier League got all the money. And we can't sell anybody for any price that makes any sense to reduce, to improve our net spend. We can't. Liverpool does that really well. You go back to the Liverpool days with Suarez and come down with Nunez, who misses goal for fun, still get 40-something million for him. Coutinho, we don't have any of those. Is it that we just don't have the? I mean, if you look at our squad is valued, I think, almost $1 billion. Between all the Saka and the Ødegaards and our defense, we have one of the best squads in football globally. Just can't win trophies and can't make sales that makes any sense to anybody. We give away top Aris for less than 10 million pounds. It's crazy. We gave away, what's his name? The guy from France 3 years ago for free to go to France. I mean, it's basically free. We got some money for him, but basically free. It's crazy. It's crazy. Then he became a French international. It's crazy. But anyway, people, anything else you want to talk about, or we just close the program down? Phone line is open. You want to call in. As I mentioned before, next week Sunday on Cranky Live and on Balanced Views on both channels, we will have Pastor Lansley Blake, otherwise known as Pastor affectionately in the YouTube space, who will be on to talk about the God question. And let me say this to those of you, because I know Jamaicans are extremely religious. As you mentioned, God, them start quick. I understand people who love gun and them think they'll get quick when they thought you about something else, you know. Jamaican people beat up them chest and go on a certain way. And then you got them start run. Not even not them start run and hide and put them over them ears. Like them a 5-year-old. I'm not saying people shouldn't be religious. That's your prerogative. You want to celebrate the omnipotent one, is your prerogative. You want to celebrate Jesus, your prerogative. But please open your hearts up and your mind and your ears and your eyes to listen to perspective which may not align with yours. Yeah, no, we don't want anything to Odell. That not tell me. It should be interesting conversation, Odell. It should be interesting conversation. I'm looking forward to it. I want to see, because I'm sure he's going to have some criteria about how we go about this. So we'll see how that works out. Next week, Sunday, August 31st, 3:30 p.m. Be there, be square. Cranky, having discussion, or Mr. Balanced Views, both of them will be here in one host, having discussion. It's not a debate, people. It's not a debate. We're having a conversation about the question of God, about contradictions, about Christianity and Judaism, about morality, just about life in general, all commingled on the concept of God and what that means and what that entails and why things work the way they do. So don't get nervous, don't get concerned, don't get upset, don't get perturbed, because we're having conversation which you get uncomfortable with. Embrace the uncomfortableness of the conversation, understanding that if God didn't want you to ask those questions, you wouldn't have had those questions come up. Or as you guys said, it's of your own free will. So let's exercise our free will and have the conversation. And have, it should be a good attendance, people, because I know we have more Christian than anybody out there. Men, women, whatever, out there in YouTube land and in regular place. Bring them in. Bring your mom and your dad in, your sister, your brothers into the conversation. We probably will take some phone calls as part of the discussion. It's going to be a good discussion, very respectful discussion. It's not a debate. We're going to respect each other's space and perspective and views, but we need to have the conversation and challenge each other. That's very important, that we challenge each other in these forums to talk about these things, because nobody has what I'm going to call omnipotent knowledge or all-inclusive knowledge. You talk about all-inclusive, you go Jamaica, you go hotel. You don't know everything about everything. Not even AI know everything about everything. And AI knows a lot of stuff, right? So the goal is to come, have the conversation, have the dialogue, challenge, be challenged. And maybe what I'll do is I'll see if I can get some information to inform the view. So I gotta go do some research next week to make sure this really lands really well. And I want anybody to come and get upset with me. But I'm gonna ask the tough questions, because that's what I do. Right? I want to ask the tough questions. And it should be a good conversation. I'm looking forward to it. And before you leave, I know most of you watch these things and these forums and these YouTube channels on your mobile device. As you turn me off, just go to the website, SSNN Live, and sign up, people. I'm trying to get at least 100 people signed up in the next week or so before I start writing more articles. It's going to be good. All right? Please go support the website, people. I try to build it out. Kind of late for your website in times like these where AI take over everything, but go support the website. See, I put it on my Balanced View channel and my Cranky Live channel. And I'll sign up by saying this. It's been a wonderful, wonderful day. Eze to Arsenal. I tell you, people, I'm getting texts from England right now. You know what time it is in England? What time is it? About almost 12 o'clock. People now got in bed. People call each other and talk all night. And secondly, Oblique Seville has beaten Noah for what? 3 times straight? No. What? 3 of the last 4 times they meet, I think. He's beaten him. He lost him at the Olympics. So he's beaten him 3 of the last 4 times. And the last 2 times have been extremely convincing. Not even close. His problem is going to be, can he get through the rounds at the World Championship? Can he maintain his mental space? And can he beat Kishane Thompson? Kishane Thompson's problem is going to be, when he feels pressure in that big race with Bednarek and Noah and Seville on his shoulder, will he cave in? Or will he hold his nerves, hold his form, and go through the tape? And Akeem Blake need to get better in the last 30. You can't run so well and then last 30 you just disappear. Your form eludes you, start slowing down. You gotta maintain that you gotta maintain that deceleration at a slower pace than the rest of the runners. So people, I am out. I thank you for being here as usual. It is great having you. And I will probably do a show tomorrow on the Reggae Boys. Yes. I think it's time to talk. I need to go to the shrink, talk about the Reggae Boys. I can go to psychiatrist, talk about the Reggae Boys. So join me tomorrow, people. We have a Reggae Boys conversation. Or a Reggae Boys. You know, when you go to the psychiatrist, you're going to the shrink, even though I've never been to a shrink, but I see it on TV. You go lie down in the chair and express your concern and frustration and talk about your life history and experiences and what your challenges are. We're going to have that conversation tomorrow because we don't need it. Trust me. All right? So hit the like button before you leave. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And I think I'm going to do an outro today. I'm going to do an outro. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Peace out. Cranky life is the best to be now. For the best sports talk and it's free, yo. Cranky life will be your guiding light by keeping you informed both day and night. Cranky life, tell them. Cranky life, heed them. Cranky life, want them. Cranky life. From the courts to the field, we'll never lose because Cranky has the hottest news. With expert analysis, we break it down. Our in-depth coverage is best in town. Cranky life, feel them. Cranky life, heed them. Cranky life, want them. Cranky life. Cranky life where the sports is spicy and where we keep the discussion lively. Cranky life, get to know the name because Cranky analysis is never lame. Cranky life, give me my Cranky life. I want my Cranky life. Must have my cranky life. Whether it's football or track and field, you know Cranky is at the wheel. So join the journey through victory and debate and subscribe and don't miss a beat of Cranky life. Tell them, Cranky life. Heed them, Cranky life. Want them, Cranky life. If you're from England or USA, from Kingston or Bombay, from Kenya or Canada, Lagos or Havana, visit Cranky Live. Tune into Cranky Live. Like up Cranky Live. Subscribe to Cranky Live. Cranky Live coming to you on weekdays. Cranky Live sometimes on Sundays. Pull up a chair and take a seat because Cranky will always bring the heat. Cranky Live. Me say fi tell them Cranky life. Me say fi heed them Cranky life. On them Cranky life. Cranky life will be around. Cranky life is the best in town. Me say fi heed them. Me say fi want them. Me say fi heed them. Want them, heed them, want them. Cranky life. Cranky life. Heed them. Want them. Heed them. Want them, cranky life, cranky life. Heed them, want them, heed them, want them, heed them, want them. Cranky life, cranky life, cranky. Heed them, want them, heed them, want them, heed them.